And something we need to do for a long ass time, and I know for those 2 weeks and all that I'll be waiting, we've got to talk about those Gintama chapters, because boy, after all this time seeing like, my god, mad oh man, like you fucking badass motherfucker literally coming out of fucking nowhere like that, like yo, like Hasegawa Taizo, the chief of Bureau Immigration, like that was just a fucking badass chapter. So we're going to be talking about 596 and 597, and just the start of it was just immediately when we go to 596, which is him trying to grab a fucking coin and all that. It's like, oh, I can see the light and all that, as long as I don't shut my eyes as he's trying to go under a fucking vending machine. It's like, I can do this, and then people and all that are just like, oh, it's alright guys, we'll pull you out, and I just hang on tight. It's like, no, don't let me go, I won't give up. And then the explosions of like literally all the fucking Amanto going to attack the, like everything in the fucking city like that. It's like out of all that, it's like, oh dear god. And just literally like when he just realizes it's 100 yen of play money, and just like, oh, he's just on the floor. It's like, I want this world to get destroyed anyway, fuck this world. It's just like, you terrible man, like the world's getting blown up, and like even the old lady's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, the world really is being destroyed, you piece of shit. Like that, he's just like, oh, I don't care. It's like, welcome to my world, you pieces of shit, as I'm suffering. And it's just like, it's literally like the Amanto invading, and it's just like how it was 20 years ago, like what they're doing, and it's just like they're back with vengeance and all that. It's like, it's honestly like they're colonizing it, and it's just like after everything and all that, since it's the Altana Liberation Army that just destroyed the right, and they've risen against the Altana like preservation and all that. In other words, the Tendoshu, and it's like they've allied an army formed around the countries whose planets were destroyed by the Tendoshu. And they're pretty much is the destruction of society. Like, they've already destroyed the outposts of the other planets and taken back the Altana that have been completely under the Tendoshu. And now everything is just in fucking like chaos, since we still don't know and all that, like the whereabouts of like the Tendoshu themselves. They also can't find the whereabouts of the Shogun, and this is like, things are just getting out of fucking control. And the Bakufu has already collapsed, and no one is acting as a government right now. And basically, this is just a war between the Tendoshu and the allied like guys and all that, and it's just like, we're getting involved in this fucking war because of these pieces of shit, and now we got to do it. And just like, what I had massive respect for and all that was just Hasegawa in this fucking chapter, like as he was just, even though he was carrying like fucking coins and all that, and like even though this piece of shit were like fucking like spitting on him and all that, and it's just like, you know, he decided to like get all the money he's saved up and all that, and he's saying, I can see the light. He decides to fucking bear it, like grab all the money that he's gotten, all of the stuff that he saved all this time. He goes and dumps every single part of that money, at least one job request and all that, and he's like, I've gathered up the wishes of everyone in Edo and all that, and there's one thing I asked in this job request and all that. It's like, you know, like to take back the country of samurai together with all of the samurai, and just him protecting that little kid, having a cigarette in his mouth, putting the old costume on. I was like, you fucking badass motherfucker, Hasegawa, putting this in. It's just like, oh, that was such a fucking, like, that's how you end that chapter. I remember reading that, I was like, this fucking Hasegawa, you fucking pimp-ass motherfucker. I love that when he did that. It's like, that was so fucking manly. I absolutely adore that. I was like, Hasegawa, it's like, I've gotten everything, I've gathered all that I need to do, and I put it towards the people of Edo, and I finally got to get back into the suit. I finally got to get back into the job that I was good at, like that, and I loved that. And everyone else as well, getting their job requests and all that. They're like the old man, like Saratobi, Tsukio, the Tai, the old lady, like that. It was like, all of them are getting this fucking in. And I just love this, like, when he was just there in that chapter, he was just like, you know, I'm the chief of Bureau of Immigration, Hasegawa Taizo, and I'm not gonna let you do whatever you want with this country anymore. And they're like, what bullshit is this? And like, who even gives a shit? This country's government is not dead. Even if the country is crumbled and the Bakufu is crumbled, we samurai still survive, and they will come back. So until then, we just have to make sure we can't fall into despair. And it, like, when he's like giving this badass speech to like this fucking boy and all that, and he's just like, you know, like, don't worry kid and all that, I've been living my life at the gazing of such an abyss of despair. I don't even know if like I was the only one and all that, but maybe those days were all in preparation for this, for when Edo fell into despair, so I could support it from underneath. And like, he does this fucking badass like fucking speech and all that, and then he gets his ass fucking kicked in. and you have like everyone getting in. You had Tsukio with all the courtesans like that. You had Saratoyu with all the ninjas like that. It's like you have all of this, and it's just like, I love the fact that it's just like, oh, then Hatagawa gets this fucking shit kicked in, and then that fucking piece of shit fucking Prince Barker just appears after all this time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this piece of shit and all that coming over here after all this time. And like, I respected like Otose, like, for like, she was saying like, just take what you want, guy. Like when she was like it doesn't matter and all that, like or even if it's emptied out and all that, it's like, as long as there'll be people to come here, place like Youruza to come home to, and that's what they want. And those pieces of shit start blowing up the fucking bar, and I was like, no, you fucking assholes and all that. And it's just like, you fucking, like, you pieces of fucking dog shit. And then out of all the prayers and all that, those badass motherfuckers come out and saying, understood, we've heard the request, loud and see it. And it's just like, you know, the specifics that they don't really matter, do they? Whether it's like anything from walking a dog to protecting the peace of the world, the Youruza is on the job. You finally see Gintoki, Shinpachi, Kagura, all of them fucking like return on that as we go. Like, it says right there, we've entered into the final chapter, like that. And I was like, this is what we want to see for this fucking finale. This is what we want to get. This is what they fucking deserve and all that. And I was like, both chapters were fucking fantastic. Both were fucking emotional as hell. And finally seeing them arrive back in Tokyo. And they seemingly, like, now they're pretty much all back up together, like, all back up together and all that. Like, they're pretty much healed up and all that. Gintoki doesn't even, like, his arms are fucking broken anymore. So they must have, like, just, you know, pumped in any healing juice or anything you can get into Gintoki whilst this is happening. Like, we gotta do this and all that. Get them all healed back. And I love both chapters. I thought both chapters were fantastic, and I got really emotional right at the end of it. Like, both Hasegawa as his one, as a character that was always like this just bum, that was just always this bum at all times, but he had these manly moments every now and then, and it all came to a head in that. And then adding into like 597 as well, finally seeing like, it's just everyone fucking uniting to take back the law of the samurai. And it's like, this right now, we're having another Amanto war. But this time things are a little bit different, as we've now got United Friends and all that to go at. We haven't just got Takasugi, we haven't just got Katsura, we haven't got like just some of the samurai and all that. Everyone's uniting and all that, and everyone that's been under the border of like Gintoki, everyone that he's united and all that, that's what I want to see. And it's like, right there, that solidified the finale to me right there. It's like, the finale literally begins now. That's where I was like, that's where it hit me hard and all that. And it's just like, even if the natural perv gets limp and bent, it then Zeus springs back, part 1 and part 2, fucking fantastic. I absolutely love them. I'm gonna give them both fucking 10. I got really emotional seeing the end. And Hasegawa, out of all of them, I didn't expect you to have that much of a badass fucking finale and all that to that. I thought that was a great thing for his character. So I'm going to end off there. Let me know what you guys think. I know I kept you guys waiting, especially with the 2 Gintama reviews, and I did the same thing with Magi. So, like, it feels weird. It's just like Gintama just comes out, like, random times, and it's like, oh, when I do get the time, it's like, oh, 2 chapters are out by then. So it's like, fuck it, I'll just do it then. So, yeah, I don't mean to do it. It's like, oh, I'll just do it. But I like it whenever I feel like it's honestly just, the timing is always horrific with the chapters, and it's a shame. I really hope that at the finale they kind of, like, fix up, like, a little bit, like, get a little bit faster with the translations, but I got emotional as fuck when seeing these 2 chapters, so I'm going to end off there. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's all from me, so I'll see you beautiful bastards, though, next time.